a couple months ago when David Pakman did his interview with Dr. Phil McGraw, the tabloid TV trash? I mean, he may as well be another Maury Povich or Jerry Springer, for what it's worth. And in the beginning, there was a moment that really struck with me. It really, really resonated with me. And that was at the start of the interview. I'm going to play a clip here. And it's David Pakman saying that, look, I watched a bunch of your Fox interviews and I didn't realize you were as political as you are or as conservative as you are. And Dr. Phil flatly denied that accusation, I guess. He said, oh, no, you could be farther from the truth. I'm not a conservative. I'm not right wing. I'm not political at all. I'm too dumb or I'm too ignorant of politics to be like that. And now he has sat down with Donald Trump and outed himself as a liar. He lied to David Pakman and by extension, America and the world by denying his proclivity toward things right-wing, toward things Trump. Because in this Trump interview, and I'm going to play all of this, we're going to lay all this out, he absolutely just gets on his knees and drinks from the butthole of Donald Trump. Sorry to be as graphic, but it is truth. He just is an ass kisser, another bootlicking lapdog sycophant in service to Donald Trump, trumpeting propaganda. I've called for these trials to stop. They've got to stop. And then goes into, you've got a wonderful family. You've got famously a thick skin. Things don't bother you. Dr. Phil, you're just an embarrassment. And again, maybe most importantly, what's going on with the mustache, brother? Well, what are you hiding under there? You got an upper lip tattoo that you're hiding? Anyway, watch this moment from the David Pakman show, and we'll move on to what took place with Trump.
You know, I'm very interested to speak to you today because in preparation for our interview, I've been watching some of the Fox News appearances, looking at the book, etc. I never really saw you as a guy who delved into political issues per se. You seem more willing, interested, and I must say, maybe more conservative than I thought you were. Is that a fair assessment?
Not at all.
Okay.
Because I am so not political, you can't even believe it. And I'll tell you why. I know nothing about politics. And, and I know why you say that. It sounds like it.
Right.
I talk about these things as cultural issues from a psychological, psychosocial standpoint, how they affect families and people. And they do overlap with some of the things that politicians talk about, but they talk about it from a political standpoint, funding standpoint, how they can get this bill or that bill through, couldn't care less. But I am interested in those issues in terms of how they impact families in their day-to-day pursuit of life and peace and being able to raise their family in a healthy environment. So there's a lot of overlap, but I don't talk about it from a political standpoint because I frankly don't know enough about the politics of it all.
That's
I'm just willing to admit that. I'm just willing to admit it. I don't think a lot of other people know either. I'm just willing to admit it.
Got it. It's not a fair assessment to call him conservative or right-wing in any way. He's not conservative, not political, and doesn't know anything about politics. This did shine through. Maybe that's not a lie, that he is ignorant of these matters. He's just a dum-dum. He's just a provocateur on TV, exploiting addicts and poor people on his television show. And that is what he has done. He is a net negative for society with his tabloid garbage TV. And he is indeed, without a doubt, it is a fact that he is a right-winger, that he is conservative. The interview with Trump starts out with them just glad-handing and kissing each other's asses and building each other up about how wonderful they are and how everything they do is great. And it shifts to him telling Donald Trump that he's been calling for these trials to stop, and Biden needs to stop it. And the only people who believe that Biden can't stop it because they're state cases are the stupid people who don't know how it works. spoken from the guy who has already admitted he doesn't know how things work. Watch this.
And I know that there was some news coming out of Georgia today, there was some news coming out of Florida today, that they're stepping back from this. And
very good news.
I called for the other day, and I don't know if you saw it, but on Merritt Street Media, where I now do my show, I called for President Biden to stop all of this now. And of course, a lot of people said, oh, he can't stop it, it's a state case. Well, okay, that's an explanation for stupid people, but for people that understand how this works behind the scenes and all, I say the same thing. They need to stop this. They need to stop pursuing you. Since you started your campaign in 2015 to run for office, there have been so many attempts to get you off the board even before you started your campaign. Then once you were in office, 2 impeachment opportunities, they changed the rules to try to make it high crimes and misdemeanors if there were business conflicts, and in this case, and this case.
Never ends.
It seems to be never ending.
How you like that? Dr. Phil saying, I called for President Biden to stop this. You did, Dr. Phil? Did you call for the President of the United States to stop this? And that's just what stupid people think, that he can't stop state and local municipalities from executing judgment on their laws. That he's calling for Biden to stop pursuing Donald Trump. He doesn't apparently like justice unless it's for people who struggle with substance abuse, single mothers, poor people. Then accountability and pull yourself up by your bootstraps is what's in order. Personal responsibility. Donald Trump broke the law. Donald Trump has tried to end democracy in America, which actually comes up in this next clip. Donald Trump is explaining all of the stuff, and then he says, you know, are they going to cheat again? Are they going to cheat again? No pushback from Dr. Phil on the fact that he wasn't cheated. He lost the election in 2020. None of that. Instead, Dr. Phil answers the conspiracy and the diatribe of idiocy from Donald Trump with, listen, you've got a really thick skin. Nothing bothers you. You've got a wonderful family. Why do you do this? It's just, how does the boot polish taste on the tongue of Donald Trump? Donald Trump's boot polish on your tongue, Dr. Phil. How's it taste? Is it bitter in the mouth? Does it have an acrid sensation? I wouldn't know because I'm not a f***ing bootlicker. Watch this moment that is embarrassing for Dr. Phil.
But I have the question asked often is number one question I get, how do you stand it? How do you do it? How do you get up in the morning and put your clothing on and go to work? I do get that because people don't envy it. And the other one I get is, will they do it again? Meaning, will they cheat? Will they do it again? Will it happen again?
Well, I have a different question than that how question. My question is why. I understand how. I know you got a thick skin. You're not one of those people that's afflicted with the need to be loved by strangers. I get that.
I think that's true.
My question is not how do you do it. My question is why do you do it? Why do you, 'cause let's face it. I mean, you're a billionaire. You got a great family. You're a very dedicated father. People may not see this in you a lot because you keep that kind of private. But my question to you is why do you subject yourself to this?
Dedicated father, great family, billionaire. And then maybe the most laughable, not afflicted by the need to be liked by others. Thick skin, says Dr. Phil, of Donald Trump, a famously weak, thin-skinned coward who desperately needs to be liked by others. This is a guy who claims to not be right-wing. Then why is he kissing the ass of the representation of right-wing in America? Dr. Phil, I would ask. In fact, no, nay, I demand that you tell me, just like you demand that the President of the United States interfere in local and state cases. Who's the stupid one who doesn't understand how things work? Dr. Phil. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I'm sure that I have ruffled the feathers of some Dr. Phil fans, and that's okay. That is what I do. That's my soul. That's the whole soul goal of this particular channel, is to ruffle the feathers of Dr. Phil fans. In fact, if you'd like a deeper dive, I'll link this that just came to me. A deeper dive on Dr. Phil about why, some justifications for why I feel the way I do about him, the danger that he poses, the damage that he's done. Go look up, or I'll link below, but it's Big Joel, YouTuber here, video essayist, great, fantastic content. He's done multiple episodes, deep dives into Dr. Phil, and it's just an unassailable position that I hold. So anyway, if you want to help support this work, I would encourage you to do so. Click the join button below, become a channel member. $2 a month is all it takes to help me make these videos. You can also go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. You can follow me on social media. That's free and also at really terrible times. So, we can both suffer together. I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. See you next time. Be genuine, not like Dr. Phil. Take care, one another.